Hello again, YouTube. Nope, fuck that right up. Be awake, buddy. Hello, YouTube. This is Balor Mage again, and today we're done with this build, finished it, but this was our version of a Righteous Fire Chieftain. There's not a lot to say about this build, but there were some changes that I made that I am very, very, very happy with. So the basis of this build is all just ran off Pohx's Righteous Fire Chieftain. That's the structure of the whole build. That's where I got taken from. What I changed is I ended up giving up a decent amount of single target for what you can see in the background here. Full screen, round corners, multiple room, explosion, prolifs. Because the idea of this build was just to absolutely run at maximum speed straight through everything. So there's not going to be a lot to this build guide, and if you really want to know how to like build a Righteous Fire Chieftain, I'm going to send everybody to Pohx. But I got way too many questions about this build to not go through some of the changes that I made that I thought made it really, really, really fun. We have the path of building here. This is, like I said, mostly done the normal way, except I have made a few changes. One, this brand new belt this league, which I have found to be absolutely kind of amazing. This is way underpriced for how powerful it is. This is like budget Pathfinder. Flasks applied to you have 25% increased effect. Utility flasks gain 3 charges every 3 seconds. This, while it hasn't given me 100% flask uptime, it's given me pretty close. I'm at like 85 to 90% flask uptime here, which is absolutely phenomenal. And as long as I've got anything to kill, then it becomes 100% uptime. So I'm absolutely loving this belt. I think it needs to be used far more often than it is currently. And I just want to showcase that one because a 3 utility flasks every 3 seconds belt right now only costs like 3.5 to 4 div. And this works on unique flasks as well. So it stacks with the Pathfinder. It's absolutely a disgustingly good belt. Some other changes that we made. I did manage to put on 1 Venter's Gamble, by the way. This was not a quant farming build. I had room, and so I put 1 on. But there's 2 other changes that I made. You might notice that my Righteous Fire has quite a bit of area. That's because I went for area scaling, as much of it as I could get. So apart from running an Awakened Ink AoE instead of Efficacy in our links, I also went ahead and put area of effect on every single node I could find. So both my clusters have Burning Bright and Widespread Destruction, 6% AoE and 8% AoE on both of those. And then here we've gone Towering Threat, Assert Dominance, so we get another 25% Ink AoE if we kill 5 enemies recently, and then another 10% there. We did the same thing on this side, 10% AoE, 25% AoE if you killed them recently. And then we went for 1 of the normal flow untethered Burning Brights. And to go with my belt, I did put on 1 Spiked Concoction so that we get Alchemist's Genius and Brood for Potency. So this was a little bit extra. And in all honesty, I probably should have just put on another Towering Threat, Assert Dominance and gotten even more AoE. But I had so much AoE it didn't matter. So the one other change we made is this might be the highest value cluster jewel I think I might have ever picked up. This thing cost me 1 div. It'll be in the path of building. There were 17 others up when I bought this one. And when I looked earlier before this video, there were still 14 more online. So hopefully there's some others because we don't care about the name at all. But I did waste an Anoint on this node for 5% physical taken as fire. Not necessarily needed, didn't need to take that one because on nodes we were already going to take 5% physical damage taken as fire on this node, and then ignites deal damage 10% faster on this node, and then 10% reduced critical strike damage taken, and then 5% physical damage taken as fire. So I've got 15% fizz taken as fire here, and then 10% reduced damage from crits, ignites deal 10% faster. So that is a super high value jewel here for what it provided, at least defensively. What this build was good at was basically anything that required clear, although you could kill bosses on it. To be honest, the amount of DPS that I gave up in order to get that amount of area would make this absolutely not a bosser. We're looking at just under 2 mil bossing damage here, which is very low for bosses. The reason for that is the entire build is built around the Hinekori's explosion and scaling its area of effect. So that's just 5% chance enemies explode for 500% of their life. And then all we've done with that is grab ignite chance, grab ignite chance here, grab the ignite chance around this side, and then also put some ignite chance on our weapon, and then scaled that area as big as possible. And the whole thing here was just, I will pop one monster and that will kill every room, everywhere, in every direction, and just speed clear maps. Everything else, pretty standard. We ended up in a Dawnbreaker. We've got a Cloak of Flame. We have the normal Fire Trap helmet, quite a good one, but the normal Fire Trap helmet. This is all the rest of this is pretty much standard. I also have one of the fizz taken as Watcher's Eyes. But yeah, that is all the differences. Short, nice and short video. This is just how to get the most amount of area that you can get while still being very tanky and able to do the difficult maps. But what we sacrifice is all the single target. So don't go bossing when you do this setup. Don't try and kill any Ubers. You don't have the damage for it. What you have is ultimate map clear, full screen coverage, AoE, giant explosions, very smooth, very tanky, really good max hits, really good recovery, almost immortal in most mapping situations, but no damage to speak of at all. So that is all we have for that one. I will see everybody next time. Goodbye.